Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining us today. Today we'll be making Mchicha, which is Swahili for spinach, and Ugali, which is a staple in many places in Africa. For the Mchicha, we will need 2 pounds of spinach, some coconut milk. It calls for butter, but I'm going to be using margarine because I'm lactose intolerant. Natural peanut butter, or you can make your own peanut butter paste with peanuts, which is what I'm going to do. Curry powder, 1 onion, and 1 tomato, and for the ugali, just regular corn flour. However, unfortunately, all I have is a tamale mix, so that's what I'm going to be using, but just regular corn flour. This dish is from Tanzania, which is in the southeast of Africa, and it's bordered by the Indian Ocean. So let's get started. So I'm going to start with making the peanut butter paste. Add a little over half a cup of peanuts to the food processor, or again, you could just use about half a cup of natural peanut butter. This is kind of crumbly, so we're going to have to add some oil to it to make it more like a paste. That's better. That's what it should look like. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started now on the ugali, and I'll be linking to both of the recipes in the description. And like I said, it calls for just plain corn flour, but tamale mix is all I have for now. But it's made from corn. So we start with the water, which is about 4¼ cups, and then we cook it on high, but don't let it boil, just to get warm. So I'm going to put it on the back burner because the back one never boils. So we heat it for about 3 minutes, but again, don't let it boil. We start with half of the ugali mix. So we put in 1¼ cups of the corn flour. Keep stirring until you get the lumps out and it becomes kind of like a porridge. It's thicker now like porridge, so cover the pot and cook it for about 4 minutes on medium, and we don't want it to get too hot and burn. So I'm going to put it on the back burner, and while that's cooking away, we're going to start on the spinach stew. I always like to start the pan on high until it gets hot, and then you can turn it down later after it starts cooking. So we're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter, ghee, or in my case, margarine. So it's starting to melt, so now we add the chopped onion and the chopped tomato and 2 teaspoons of curry powder. Stir it around and cook it for about 5 minutes or until the onion becomes soft. Now we'll go back to the ugali. We'll just remove it from the heat and go ahead and add in the other 1¼ cups of flour. Stir it in, and we keep stirring it until it becomes hard, kind of like a Play-Doh. So we're supposed to lay it as flat as possible against the bottom of the pot, and then later we have to flip it. So let's just go ahead and add it to a frying pan to make it easier later on to flip. At this point I added oil to the bottom of the pan so that it wouldn't stick. I probably should have added water. I think that would have been better. But spread it as flat as possible and then cook it on medium heat, which is why we're moving it to the back of the burner so it doesn't burn, and cook it for 4 minutes. Now we'll come back to the stew, and it's time to add the spinach. It says to cook it for 15 to 20 minutes, and that's a really long time to cook spinach. So we're just going to cook it until it's wilted. And because there is so much spinach, we'll have to add a little spinach at a time and just as it wilts. At this point it's been about 4 minutes, so it's time to flip over the ugali, and then we cover it up and cook it for another 4 minutes. And we need to repeat this process of flipping it and cooking it for 4 minutes 2 more times. I'm sure by now that some of the spinach has wilted, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little more spinach, and I'm also going to give it a stir just to make sure the stuff at the bottom doesn't burn. The ugali is done, so we're going to take it off the heat and just kind of shape it into a mound. Now let's make the coconut peanut butter mix. We're going to put it into a container with a lid, because we're going to have to shake it up. So add the peanut butter paste to the container and then 1 cup of coconut milk, and then shake it up until it's all mixed together nice and smooth. Now slowly add the peanut butter coconut mix into the stew, and then we let it simmer for another 5 minutes, and then it will be done. So we'll just let it cool a little bit and then we'll try it out. So now I'm going to try it out. I think maybe you're not supposed to add oil to the ugali. I don't know, but I was worried about it burning.
Use proper silverware.
No, they eat with like this. You can't really taste the coconut. Kind of taste the peanut butter. I made the face because I really don't like cooked spinach, and it's very spinach intense, obviously. You may ask, well then, why did I choose a spinach dish? It's because I tried to look up what was typical of Tanzania, and this dish came up. Said it was pretty popular there, so that's what happened. But it's healthy. I'll just try to remember that it's healthy. If you try it, let me know, please. And again, I'll include the links to the recipes down in the description box. I'd like to thank my brother for being my cameraman. I forgot to do that last time. And I hope you'll join us again for the next dish. Thank you.